Yeah, hi there. In these comments, I'm going to use the first letter of your name, K, and looks like you've been going through some of my lessons at my online TOEFL course, and you had a question about sentence rhythm, at least 3 questions, right? So your first question is in regards to lesson 33. Say, can you give me any tip to read a poem like a native speaker? I cannot read it rhythmically, and figure out which words I should emphasize. The main thing is focus on the nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. These are called content words. Content words receive the most stress. All other words, unless they're negative, don't receive that much stress. So again, focus on nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. Now, in addition, in order to read a poem and to read it rhythmically, you also have to identify what's called thought groups. A thought group consists of anywhere from 3 to 5 stress words. And then you have a pause, you'll have another 3 to 5 stress words, another pause, and on and on and on. This isn't an exact science. You have to get used to your own style as you begin reading and practicing your speaking in English. So I think if you identify the content words as stress words, and then you put words into thought groups according to maybe 3 or 5 stress words per thought group, and then the third thing is to make sure you're blending your words within each thought group. That means sometimes the final sound of one word, you may link it to the first sound of the next word. So that would be some of my comments to your first question. Question 2. You say, can you give me any suggestions to improve my listening skills by which I can hear even the slightly pronounced words? It's hard. It's difficult hearing those prepositions, those determiners, those auxiliary verbs, because native speakers don't put a lot of stress in those areas. So maybe, I think one way you can do that is through singing, listening to songs. So if you go to YouTube and you play a song, it's very tough to hear those what's called unstressed words. So if you watch the video and you listen to the song, you can also see the lyrics or the words to the song, and you can use a script to help you pay attention to how speakers pronounce those what's called those unstressed words. Remember, typically prepositions, auxiliary verbs, and determiners, those 3 different types of words typically are unstressed words. So maybe listening to music might be effective to help you identify some of those unstressed words. One other suggestion is TED Talks. If you go to TED Talks, type in the word TED Talks, you can find videos along with listening scripts of what was said in the video, and then you can pay attention to how the speaker pronounces those unstressed words in the videos that you listen to at TED Talks. So that's another suggestion. All right, let's go to your third question. You say, should words used as relative pronouns like which, were, whose, are they stressed or not? The man who was going to the movies today, I would say no. I don't think they're stressed as much as normal nouns. You look at which, were, and whose. These are typically what's called relative pronouns, and I don't think they're stressed as much as normal nouns. So the answer with that is, I don't think they're stressed. No. So then you say, should the words which are necessary for a comparative sentence, such as the most, more, less, stressed or not? I think with more, most, or less, I'm going to say yes. You probably, if I say she is the most important person in my life, or if I said this is more difficult than it was last quarter. So I'm going to say yes, not with the word the, but with words like most, more, or less. When you're comparing, it seems that stressing those helps us make the connection between the ideas that are being compared. So I think you should stress words like more, most, or less. All right, anyway, thank you very much for your questions, and keep up the good work.